Smack. Welcome to Super Smack.
Welcome to Super Smack.
The Super Rugby podcast from the fans, for the fans. Semi-finals week is over. What a couple of victories.
Wow, those were a couple of good, some very good games. Very
that first
good.
one was close.
The first one was a real classic, man. Like, that was good.
It was
had
good
all...
finals rugby, wasn't it? It was so close. It could have gone either way.
And both teams... You all right, mate?
Sorry, mate, just the fire engine going past.
Oh, thank God. Probably
Just
on
the
its
day
way to
in
the
the life.
protests.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. Or to save a cat from a tree.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep, it's possible.
Look, both teams had their big moments, and it was looking like it could go either way right till the end, really. Although you'd have to maybe say that the Crusaders had it sewn up. My one observation
You think
that
so?
I made,
You really think so?
well, here's my thing. My one observation that I made with our lovely friend David was that the Crusaders just look so annoyingly calm. Like the killer whales that we described them as last week.
Yes.
They were on attack and they just take their time, they just work their way up and they strike. Whereas the Blues, I felt at times at the beginning of the second half, were playing as if they were behind on the scoreboard, but it was 14-all. That there was a certain desperation. It's like they knew that they hadn't got as many points on the board as they needed to, and they were like, fuck. If you don't do that against the Crusaders, you're open fucking slather.
But they were always one play away. Like, it was, they were there and thereabouts the whole time.
No,
They started the
good.
game fantastically. You know, they got in early. They got the points on the board from the get-go, you know? Like, I feel like, like maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that little bit of composure that they lack.
I think they need the composure, and I think that, the Chiefs are going to need some of that, which I think you guys do. You just gotta they're so calm. It's kind of annoying how they do it, but...
I think maybe it's that we can turn this on its head a little bit. Rather than them being calm, maybe it's the fact that the Blues are just a little bit frantic.
They were
the
erratic.
other way around. Yeah,
You reckon?
Well, you look at the likes of Hoskins Satutu. He had, he just mindless stuff. You don't need to be doing that stuff.
You could say in some ways he might have contributed to that loss. Like, those key moments. Like, what was he thinking? The guy's off his rocker. He basically punched the dude in the back. What? And the guy didn't even do anything. You know what was funny about that is the Blues had got the penalty. Like, it was their penalty, and he comes in and goes, "Nah, give it back." It didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
maybe he wasn't aware.
Yeah, so it's that desperation that when you're playing the Crusaders and you want it, you need it, you need to do your best, you need to have your best play on hand, and it just all comes unraveling, and then all of a sudden you're packing your bags and you're back off to Tamaki Makaurau with nothing but a hangover.
And what happened to Hoskins Satutu? Do you think we'll ever see him in the All Blacks framework ever again?
Well, judging from last year, probably not.
No.
I mean, he had a better season last year than he has this year, and he didn't get the call-up. So I don't see why or how he would get a call-up this year.
And when you see brain explosions like that in the semi-final on Friday night, you kind of go, he's kind of given up the ghost. He's gone, I'm just may as well not bother. It seems very strange,
Yeah.
considering the player he once was. Oh,
hey, you know who else
Buddy
has
Hoskins.
sort of given up their little social media banter?
yeah.
Someone's gone a little quiet this week.
Someone's maybe just at a family dinner, or maybe he's gone away for the weekend. But he's definitely...
Rico, he's turned his notifications off on Instagram, and he has packed his bags for the week. He's definitely having a social media cleanse by the looks.
No, mate,
which is fair enough. He was very active, and maybe he just got a little bit fried from all that usage, from all the comments.
Yeah, and I've got two theories. One, he's been banned by Instagram for being too provocative.
Yeah.
They've come in and they've gone, nah, mate. Or the other is that he's actually got that app that only lets you on 7 minutes a day, and he's been locked out.
Well, I mean...
And he's sitting there desperately wanting to troll people, and he's like, fuck, I can't get in.
Yeah, true. I mean, there is another theory, though, that
What?
he's actually like Gareth Williams, and he's quite a good loser. He's good at losing. He's like, but he's not a very nice winner.
It's true. Rico
He loves
Ioane,
rubbing it in when you have a little. When you have
me
a
and
little
Reeks are
win.
the same. We're the same person when it comes to winning. We're just like, fuck you. And when we lose, we're like, oh, well, you know.
Which
next
I
year.
mean, if you were to say something to really rile up Rico, and I don't want you to rile him up, but you're an expert of under the skin comments, mate. How would you get him back on socials and get him back yapping again?
I'd probably say you can only run and clear gaps, cunt, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I'd say
Fifth best winger of All Blacks history.
yeah,
Bar none.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably say something like, Mags are looking for a centre.
I mean, there's a third
Did
theory
he go
I've
to
got
Mags?
here.
I think he did.
I don't know, mate. There's a third theory that I've got here, which is
Jesus,
that maybe
there's theories flying everywhere.
that he was watching the Leinster final against the Bulls just to have a little look at what he's got to look forward to, and maybe he was so upset about the loss down in Christchurch that he just wanted a little bit of winning ways. Knows he's going to a team.
Well, yeah,
he's going knows how to get it done.
Yeah, he's going to a very good team because they had a bloody good one. That would be the equivalent. Going to Leinster is kind of like the equivalent of going to the Crusaders in some ways, isn't it? It'd be the same as if he was to sign
the
for them.
Irish Crusaders, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Well,
you're going to a legacy team.
Have they always been really good? I haven't really followed much of Leinster rugby back.
Yeah, but especially in recent years, they've been like the Crusaders were right up until 2023.
Probably when my old coach Joe Smith turned up there, he really turned them around, didn't he?
He did, mate. You got to thank Joe for a lot in world rugby, don't you? Yeah. Really? Yeah. He's good, but Geordie. Oh God. Well, it still makes me go. Geordie's going to come back and slot in nicely into that 12 jumper, no doubt about that for me. And I honestly think poor Reeks, despite the problem that everyone has with him. Again, I still think he's going to be there. He actually showed up a little bit in those last games.
Oh,
and he's defensively great. He's defensively a great player.
He's a good player. He's a good player. He just sets himself
up. I love the villain thing. It's good. Good on him.
And you know what? Maybe he's just looked back at a couple of those posts and he's taken his own advice. He's just had a little bit of a shush.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to promote someone into playing their best than an insult on social media. So maybe we should be encouraging trolling online in order to get these.
No, we definitely shouldn't. I mean, there's trolling and there's there's clever comments,
and then there's abuse.
And then there's abuse. Yeah, we don't want to go down that road.
No, and I'd say the bulk of the rugby watching public. Sorry if you're listening. Are probably leaning into the abuse. They're probably not all the sharpest tools in the shed.
I mean, what Rico was sort of putting out there, it was very motivating, obviously. It got people riled up. It got people ready to go. It got himself really riled up. He's like you say, he had a really good run into that semi-final. He had a couple of great games.
And, mate, how fiery was that semi? Like, there was biff, both. How fiery was that semi?
Oh, sorry. You just looked down, I thought.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
No, mate, I have, just for the record, I haven't got a semi.
Okay, good.
I don't get those feelings when I'm on this app with you.
Are you full semi all the time? You're a bit of a shower rather than a grower, aren't you?
Well, you know that, yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
It's like a floppy bratwurst.
Oh.
It certainly wasn't a blowout though, and that's what I was expecting.
Wasn't a blowout.
When the Blues went down there. I thought
really
they were going
to.
I kind of was, yeah. I mean, I thought it was either going to be like a close victory for the Blues, which they got very close to,
or a hiding.
I just had this feeling that the Crusaders were going to come out and absolutely cream them, and they certainly did not do that. Which is opening a little bit of a door for my boys, the lovely Chiefs.
I think
because
it is.
You said something before about how the Crusaders were very calm and collected. I feel like there's a big difference between the semi that the Chiefs played last year against the Hurricanes and then went on to lose the final, and the semi that they played last night, where it was a little calmer. They did, like, they definitely, they bided their time. They didn't panic when things were a little bit, like, sketchy at the start of the game. The Brumbies came out strong. They trusted in their processes. They did, like, really good stuff up front. They set up some good ball for the backs. Like, it was just really nice.
Oh, mate.
And the door is ajar, mate.
Yeah, the door is ajar. I'd say the Blues exposed the slightly soft underbellies, the soft belly of the Crusaders, except, mate, you guys know what you've got to do. But you had the Brumbies, and what the Brumbies couldn't do is they couldn't bring it back to you like the Crusaders will. The Crusaders will return with interest. And
also probably just be a little bit more clinical up front too.
Well, that's the thing. The Brumbies made a few errors that ultimately let them down. It meant that the slim chances they had to execute and get points on the board, they just didn't do it enough. Whereas the Crusaders won't do that, mate. They will come at you in Christchurch. 31-0 now.
31-0. And it'll be 31.
Can you make it 31-1?
31-1, mate.
You can?
We can. We definitely can. And we've proven that we can, because we've been down there and beaten them. We've beaten them twice this season, home and away. So it's definitely possible, mate.
Can I ask you a question? Will you consider changing allegiances if you just lose the final yet again?
Definitely not.
Will you skip?
No, mate. Why would I? Because we've been in the final the last 4 years. No, there's no shame in that.
Depression?
Mate. No, I'm not depressed about it.
Mate, come over to the Canes, mate.
It'll be a day in hell. It'll be a day in hell, mate. And you know it. I cannot get on board with those hot-headed Canes,
Oh, mate.
They're good players, but they never get results.
Oh, well, we get some results. We got a couple against you, didn't we? But
yeah,
you're right. No, I wish you all the best. The whole country will be cheering for you, except for the people in Christchurch.
Yeah.
But that's fine. They don't really count.
Do you think that this is a good Crusaders team? I mean, we know it's a good Crusaders team, obviously, because they made it into the final. But I'm thinking about, like, previous Crusaders, and let's take last year off the table, because that's an obvious little blip in the Crusaders' history. But I don't know, man.
It's not.
It's definitely not the strongest.
Well, no, because you haven't got Richie Mo'unga there for one, who's one of the greatest players they've ever had. You haven't. I mean, no. There's been far stronger teams that have won the Super Rugby title for sure. But that shows how impressive they are, the Crusaders, and annoyingly so is that they've got someone like Rivez Reihana there, who's a relative newcomer compared to DMAC, and it's going to be a really good battle. I mean, he was pretty excellent against the Blues and Bowden.
Yeah,
so
true.
I don't know how they managed to do it. Like I said, like a few episodes ago, I guess it's because everybody wants to play for them. They're always able to attract the best people.
I'm thinking, it is this, like, the international teams that play the All Blacks. They had this sort of thing that went around the last couple of years where the All Blacks had lost their aura, and teams like Ireland started feeling their, that they had a little chance. And I don't know, there's a little something about the Crusaders this year, whereas, like, maybe they've lost that unbeatable sort of side to them, and hopefully, I mean, sure, they're still not beaten at home in finals. There's still 31 games. That said, that they are the best team in history when it comes to finals footy. But we're coming down there, mate, and we're going to give it a crack. Yeah,
I mean, I agree. They're definitely not, and I'd say they have been exposed at times this year, and unusually so. Moana Pacifica. I mean, think of those kinds of things. But you guys have probably the best Chiefs team that we've seen in quite a while. Like, you're stacked. Apart from losing LB, say.
I reckon 2023 might have been better, man.
Well, Christ, you lost 2023.
I know, we did. But like, what I'm saying is that, like, I think we've still got a very strong team, but I think we've had better teams in the past.
You
as
reckon?
Well. But, I just think maybe things are clicking a little bit.
You didn't have Wallace Satiti in 2023.
No, we definitely didn't. No, but we had Brody Retallick and Sam Cane. Those
That's
are two
true.
big names.
That's true. But I don't know. Yeah, it bodes well for for All Black season, these two teams, because we did say right at the start, they are the best two teams on paper. That's for sure. I think maybe you could closely follow them with the Blues, and then I'd probably say the Brumbies or the Hurricanes. I mean, yeah, if you're looking just on paper at names of internationals. But all the best, mate.
Hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Mate,
hey, we've got a question.
We've
got a question for you, mate. And hopefully the Chiefs don't have this problem next week.
Yes.
But what did the Blues do last night or the night before, Friday night? What did they do? You know, when you have a loss, well, your season's over, right?
Yeah.
No training on Monday. You don't have to turn up for work. You might have to do a little debrief, but you certainly don't have to be out there training. So, like, is it a big knees up? Is there a sponsor that just brings a shitload of alcohol into the dressing room and they just get like pretty fucking messy?
I'd say some of them got blind drunk.
Yeah.
I'd say probably none of them took drugs. Some of them would have just
probably
gone.
None of them.
Some of them probably none.
Probably none of them.
Some of them would have gone back and had little hotel room sort of group parties. You
don't think they'd be all together having a big knees up?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I think they might go off into their little factions and play like Cranium or something, and just have like.
No way, mate. That's not. I don't feel like
that's. Is that not the spirit?
Oh, I don't feel like that's a strong sort of sporting sport. Like you don't want to be.
No,
going
I
out
guess.
playing
Do you
games.
reckon they must have booked a function thing out at the hotel they're staying at, and they might have had like a few drinks and nibbles at the room?
You think they've pre-booked? You think they've pre-booked a losing function?
Well, actually, the Crusaders probably hosted them in something, didn't they? Like
Mate, the Crusaders have got to get back to work on Monday. I don't think they're out for a big party.
Not even a couple of salmon blinis.
Maybe a little. Okay, so maybe we do this. Maybe the Crusaders host them for a couple of salmon blinis and a nice little tidy little pints. A couple of little pints, a couple of little green bots, maybe some Steinlager probably sponsored down there.
Yeah, of course they did.
And there's the Steinlager lights, or even the zeros if someone from the Crusaders isn't really feeling like they want to drink before Monday's training session.
Yeah.
But then the Blues have kick-ons after that. And I'm thinking Korean karaoke. I think there's a couple of big karaoke booths that they get into and just go handy on.
Enrico probably wanted to stay away from the centre of town in Christchurch on a Friday night, didn't he?
I don't know, man. I reckon he was out there.
Do you reckon trying to get in a bash, trying to get in a fight?
No.
Is it him who got in a fight with Justin Marshall? No, that was Akira Ioane, wasn't it?
Oh, they have a fight.
Yeah, he got in an altercation with Justin Marshall on Courtney Place in Wellington after a game. Yeah, after a game like not that long ago, like a few years, 2 or 3 years ago or something.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and they got in like a little bit of an altercation. I'm not
Justin
exactly
Marshall,
sure
did you say?
Justin Marshall.
So Justin Marshall wasn't playing though, was he?
No. He in his role, I suppose, as a commentator. They were all out and about on the.
We can all see what's happened there, mate.
Yeah.
Justin's had a few too many bottles of the old red vino, and he's got lippy, hasn't he?
Bottles.
He's got his halfback. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember him and Mertz would have. I reckon they'd sink some.
They would have sunk some. I reckon. Well, they would. They still would. Yeah. Marshy would have said a couple of little quips about Ioane not being in the All Blacks anymore, and he would have just lashed out. He would have lashed out.
Yeah, I'm always interested at what happens behind closed doors when these teams have reached the end of the season. You know what? And especially when you you've had a loss, so there's a bit of melancholy there, but also it's like
it would have been.
You got to celebrate the season. You've
they
been working
did
your ass off.
incredibly. Yeah, incredibly
and they've
well
been
for a team
training hard. If anyone knows, if anyone has any good ideas of what the Blues actually did, if anyone saw them out, or if anyone if there was maybe someone behind the scenes that was behind a booking at some private venue, let us know. Let us know.
Let us know what
really
the Blues get up to. It could be 10-pin. It could be they went to see a movie. Maybe they went to Mission Impossible or something. I don't know. But hats off to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations, Blues, on a season that was a bit up and down, but made you all the way to the top 4. Better than the Highlanders. Better than the Canes.
Mate, anyone's better than the Highlanders. Literally, they were the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So, but hey, let's not rub it in because they know they suck, and that's enough.
I also said the Hurricanes, mate. They're also better than the Hurricanes.
That's why I kept talking over you because I didn't really want that to get through.
Hey, can you hit that? I've got a little. I've got a player of the day actually.
Oh, for God's sake!
Player of the day. Get on you, mate. And this actually goes to two players on
Which team?
One in each of the games. So one player from the Crusaders and one player from the Chiefs.
Okay.
And they played what I would consider a pretty similar game. Both outside backs, both scored 2 tries, and both scored tries that a forward would be proud of, And that's, Imoni Narawa and Will Jordan getting amongst it, scoring tries from the bottom of the ruck and diving over next to the try. Like, this is ridiculous. These guys aren't big.
No,
they're
Severise tried that a couple of weeks ago, didn't he, too? And he got his 66th or whatever it is.
But I mean, they're just looking for work. I love it. I love it from an outside back when they go hunting for it.
Yeah.
And they actually go find something and they get their hands dirty, roll their sleeves up, and they just get mucky and get right in there, man.
Yeah, mate.
They get into the juices. They get right into
They're not afraid.
Stuff.
They're not afraid. It's either that. It's either they feel they need to contribute, or they feel the forwards aren't pulling their weight, and they just have to get in and do it for them.
I just think their tries. They just love scoring tries so much that they're hungry.
They're just selfish. They're greedy and selfish. That's what it is, mate. They go. They actually get angry when they see other people scoring, so they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, give it here!" And they go in at the back of the ruck.
Imoni Nara was one where he just picked up the ball with one hand and held it there, and then saw that no one had seen that he had done it, so he just took off. Gone. And then he did another breakaway. He did that twice in the first half.
He did. He got pulled back, didn't he? Was one an advantage, wasn't it? Or was that someone else?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I mean, he's always getting in amongst it. He's great with turnover ball in Moni Narawa, isn't he?
Oh, he loves it.
Yeah, he does love it. He really does get involved. He's a unique player in that respect. I guess feeling similar to Tavatavanawai maybe, but...
He loves carrying the ball on one hand, which always makes me nervous.
He does, does. Yeah.
But he's good at it.
I bet you the coach
really
says,
good at it.
Don't bloody do that, mate. Do what you've always been told. 2 hands.
I reckon he does that. When we sort of talked about earlier on in the season where everyone gets their free time at the end of training to do their little corner tries and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just running lengths of the field holding the ball with one hand.
With one hand.
Or maybe a ball in each hand, just
always just juggling.
Yeah, he's being a mime.
Yeah.
He's miming with the balls.
You see him just doing, what's Imoni doing? He's always down the... Training's over, mate. Good effort. Good effort from him. Both those guys were good.
And Jordan. Will Jordan is, he's just a sublime player.
Never.
You can't.
When's the last time he had a terrible game? Can you even think of a game where you went, man, you had a shocker?
Because even when he plays at 20%, he's usually better than most of the other players on the bloody field, isn't he?
Yeah, that's why we have him in there for sure.
Anyway, 21-14, Crusaders victorious again. The writing was on the wall a little bit, but boy, they were close. I felt like at times during that game the Blues were going to get there.
Oh, they could have taken it, but unfortunately, what worked for them against the Chiefs the previous weekend, the Crusaders just didn't let them have it, and that's very Crusaders. That's what you got to watch out for too. They shut them down because they were leaving it a little late, and they left it a little late against the Chiefs too. You're talking about post 80 minutes scoring.
Yeah, and that's the difference, isn't it? The Chiefs let them through after that huge amount of defensive effort. 50, 60 phases at the end of the game. The Crusaders just didn't. They couldn't crack it. They couldn't crack the red line.
But you will this weekend, mate.
Oh yeah.
You'll crack the red
outside.
line.
We'll do it on the outside. We'll do it with we'll do it with a Imoni and maybe a little bit of Shooter, maybe a little bit of Leroy Carter, a little bit of D-Mac slipping through the back line a bit.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Crashing over in the midfield.
Yeah, I'd be scared if I was the Crusaders a bit. The Blues coming down is one thing, and they have a little bit of history. But you guys like that, I would be worried. if I was them. You guys have you've definitely got the players and the tempo. You need to keep the tempo up against them, I reckon, and then just
But you know
crush
what's
them.
nice?
What?
We're the underdogs.
You will be at the TAB
We are.
for sure.
We're definitely the underdogs, which I think is great for this Chiefs team.
It is a
because
great status.
It feels a little bit lighter, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh, it feels like I'm excited.
Oh, I can just
Let's
come
get
out
down
and run with the ball. I can just sort of play my freestyle game. And
everyone's expecting us to play like shit because we have in the last 4 finals. So,
yeah.
let's go. They'll probably come out and have a screamer.
Oh, I hope you do, mate. I really hope you do. For you guys probably deserve a title at this point. You definitely do.
Well,
it's time to get in there and actually win it.
It was a long, long time ago.
Well, you've been in 3 finals, though, consecutively.
Yeah.
And you need to you need to win one, mate. We'll all be cheering.
Well, we definitely won one last night, and it was, I don't know, we felt like we were in control from probably, 10 minutes in. As soon as we answered that first try, and even though Bayu was in the sin bin, it just felt like we were in control there.
Yeah.
It didn't really get away from us at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you guys were in command. There were, I mean, you sort of ran rings around them. You kept the tempo up, and the Brumbies, of course, just, their plan was to maul it and to drive it, and that's kind of all they had a little bit at times. And you played a different game plan, and you out-muscled them up front. And
well, yeah, that's what we talked about last week. We were sort of talking about how the Brumbies are big up front, and they're big. They love creating that big forward platform, but the Chiefs just did it better. And they out-muscled them. And Finau he was a beast. And same Luke Jacobson on defence. He was so good.
Yeah, I mean, they were the big players stepped up. Quinn Tupaia was good.
Oh yeah,
as
he
well.
wasn't he? Yeah.
Yep. So those players coming back injected something fresh into it. Yeah, and it was good. It was fiery. You were getting under their skin, I think, near the end. Like, they lost their confidence a little bit, the Brumbies, and they knew it. They knew that it was just too much. Yeah. Too much of a mountain to climb. There are a couple of people that threw what looked like basically punches on the weekend. I don't know if you agree, but one was Angus Ta'avao against the Crusaders. Okay. He basically threw a punch, and it kind of connected with the
Was
face.
He doing the jersey grab thing?
No, he fully like to me it looked like a full swing, and then Quinn Tupaia kind of came in with a swing on the number 8.
He tried to like.
But it's like
smack his hands
what
down.
I love is there's a skill that's been developed in rugby union where you do like the faux punch, where you know you can't punch, so you sort of like come and hide it. You do your best hidden punch where you're hitting them but not hitting them. It's fucking hilarious.
Tell you what, mate, that moment, so you would have been watching the Sky Sport coverage, right?
That's correct. Oh, you weren't.
Because I'm watching over here, I was watching the Stan Sport coverage, which is the Australian coverage.
Really?
And they were kicking off about that Tupaia incident. They were like, how was he on the field? How is he still on the field? That is ridiculous. That's an absolutely ridiculous call from the referee.
They weren't saying anything on Sky Sport.
Gone upstairs. Mate, they were nuts about it.
I mean, he did run in and aggravate it. It wasn't the greatest.
He was defending his mate. His mate got pushed.
That's
and
right.
He came in and defended
But it makes me think, can't we just have a little punch every now and then, and that's all right? Like, I love it.
Well, this is what Morgan Tutanui was saying. Yeah, he was saying at halftime. He was like, you can't expect these guys again be psychopathic athletes. All this training, all this pent-up energy, all this passion. You want them to play their best rugby at finals time, and then there's going to be a little bit of spillover. You can't expect there not to be, you know. So you just got to take that little bit of passion with the fact that they're going to be great rugby players playing at the best of their ability.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we all want to see it.
Oh
yeah, we consider ourselves civilized human beings who sit around the dinner table and be polite to each other. Mate, we all want to see these guys slug each other on the field. Yeah. Let's be honest. Let's just all own up. We all want the biff to be back. We all want someone to get socked in the eye. Like, that's why we all watch the State of Origin. I think we're all hoping secretly that there's going to be a massive brawl. It's the culture we've established where we like to watch planes going down and bombs hitting things. You know, people like to watch some weird
Do
shit.
they? I don't like
man.
watching that shit, man. That makes me feel disgusting.
People watch it. Maybe slightly
sad,
different to the biff, but
it is quite a bit different, mate. It is quite a bit different. I mean, it's a completely different category. What?
A plane crash.
You're talking about like massive disasters and a little bit of emotion.
I love seeing a plane go down.
Oh, dude. Why? Don't say
that.
You just said that there was just a massive incident.
I love an air accident investigation program. You know, I'm because I love planes. I'm obsessed with what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened with this one in India?
We don't know yet. Probably a lack of thrust and lift over the wings. He stalled the aircraft and then it died.
Well, yeah, it was sort of peaking, but not going up. Eh?
How did that one guy survive? By the way, that's so weird.
11B.
You pretty much near what?
He was in 11B. I'm going for 11B every time now.
But 11B is going to sell out worldwide, no matter where you are.
Imagine every airline starts charging more for 11B.
Well, the thing they do, because it's an emergency exit row, so they charge. Yeah, so they
Is 11B? Was there here an emergency exit?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an advertisement for paying.
So the airline,
$50.
they are going to start charging more. They're going to go, we know you all want to be in 11B from now on, so it's going to be an extra $150, please.
Yeah, $2,000 for 11B.
Mate, that's worth your life when the whole plane explodes. I mean, uncanny that he got away
I don't
with
want to
that.
be paying $2,000 every flight I take, though.
What's your life worth, mate?
Well, I mean, over a period of time, I don't know, probably 10. That's only 5 flights. Yeah, $10,000.
$10,000 is what your life's worth.
I don't know. It's just a stab in the dark.
No, mate, you're worth a lot more than that. I tell you.
Thank you. How much would you pay for me?
I'd pay $10 million.
You don't have that kind of money, man.
And I probably never will. And that's fine.
Well, not many people do have 10 mil.
No, and I don't think you need it to have a happy life. You know what you need.
It would be nice. I'd be very happy with 10 mil.
What you need is your friends, a little bit of money, and your team in a final. So I've only got some good friends at the moment.
Oh god!
And even them, most of them abandoned me.
Oh yeah, well, it's your behaviour, isn't it, mate?
No,
you just got to sort it out.
My behaviour's absolutely
fine. Is it
fine.
your attitude?
No, attitude's absolutely fine. In fact, you could well do to listen to a bit more of my advice.
I don't take advice from people I wouldn't swap lives with, mate.
Why wouldn't you swap lives with me?
I don't want to. I like my life.
I don't want to swap lives with you either. Just
That's
floating
okay.
around with a shirt and nothing, on the breeze. Okay.
Hey, I've got a rant. I've got a Raz rant.
Oh, I wish I had a. Hang on. What about this? No,
we don't need to play this thing, mate. I've just got a rant.
Oh.
No, not that.
Sense. Okay, hang on. I've got one. No, I've got one here.
Raz rants. Mate, I hate a fucking little whinging player. You know when someone just gets whingy as all hell and like their voice goes all high and they start like attacking the referee or the touch judge or something? Andy Muirhead from the Brumbies. He's got this big lock of hair out the back and he's all flicking it around and he's all constantly going, what's going on? I'm so hard done by. I'm so entitled. I fucking hate it, man. It drives me nuts. I wanted to see the Brumbies lose just because of that idiot. It was just annoying, mate. That's
mate.
The rant. That's the rant.
It is annoying. It is annoying.
And you can see him in the back of shot. Someone's doing a great little bit of rugby or like has a great turnover and he's just like constantly flicking his little ponytail around to the touch judge. Like, are you watching? Are you watching the game? Yes, he's watching the game, Andy. He's paid to watch the game. He's literally like trying to enforce the rules of the game and you're getting in his ear and it's not helping me. So Andy, just chill out.
Yeah, Andy, if you're listening, you've heard it here first on Raz Rants. Chill out, mate. And just if you actually got back to playing some serious footy, you wouldn't have to be bitching and moaning in the first place.
And if you're going to swing your head around and motor your mouth as much as that, do a tighter bun in the hair because it's just a little bit flicky.
Motor your mouth.
So that's it. That's the rant for today.
Okay.
That was a little stain on the Brumbies for me, like Andy Muirhead there. It just really wound me up.
Well, mate, what that is just a team that loses. And I'm sorry to say, but the Aussies are always constantly on the losing sides of things at the moment, and that's why they're probably synonymous with bitching and moaning. It must be tough to almost get there but never quite do it. I mean, the Brumbies had, what was the stat that you would have seen it on Stan, right? They'd lost 4 away semis in a row.
They've been here a lot, but they've never won. No Australian team has ever won a final in New Zealand.
Mate, that
is a pretty crazy stat when you think about how long Super Rugby's been going on. And they have won a few titles, but they've just obviously been when they've been a little bit better and been the top of the table and had those home advantages.
Yes.
Hey,
I mean, that's inconsistent. Yes.
Let's just have a little chat about D-Mac.
Okay. What would you like to talk about? You saw something last night, did you?
There was one little moment where he got fucking bumped off. By who was it?
Oh, by Corey Toole.
By Toole. Yeah, Toole. Yeah. And he actually cost a try. It was bad defense.
He got full steamrolled is what happened.
And we all know that D-Mac punches well above his weight when it comes to defense. Like, he's usually a pretty good defender. And he made up for it with is probably the best try-saving tackle, I think, of the season.
Yeah.
You cannot get better than that.
No.
Because it was amazing from Tom Wright. Like, Tom Wright is a great player. Like, undoubtedly very amazing. And he'll be
the Wallabies fullback.
He'll be in the Wallabies.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll be playing against the Lions. He is.
Yep.
He's phenomenal.
Yep.
And to get up against the wall, to get a little catch off the kickoff, and then run it in, which is like a formulaic little slide across the line. Somehow. Magician D-Mac gets his little mitt underneath there. That was just unreal.
It was unreal. He slid it in like he was catching like a piece of really antique china worth thousands of dollars, and he just slid and
it was
caught
like Jackie
perfectly.
Chan doing a stunt in Rush Hour. It was like a comic catch of
D-Mackie Chan.
Yeah, D-Mackie Chan. Yeah, and you know who found it the funniest? You know who found it the most outlandish? Nick Berry. He literally went upstairs because he awarded the try, and then there obviously was it the touchy, was it the TMO? I don't know.
It was the touchy.
Nick,
picked it up.
Nick, we need to have a look at this because I think maybe D-Mac's pulled off a miracle.
Yeah,
and that we had a look, and then Nick Berry just goes, a couple of honks on his thing, does his little no try signal, and then just laughs and goes, "Oh gee, yeah, that's a 22." I was like, "What?" He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "How did he do that?"
Mate, I got to say, at the time, on the very first play at speed, I had no idea. No one had an idea that D-Mac had got his hand under that. I was like, "That's a try for all money," and I was like, "You're joking me." He got, He came at, he was just perfect pace, and the positioning of his to get that arm under was genius. How do you do that at that speed? I mean, I
just think, mate, he's just got something that a lot of players obviously don't have. He's got that X factor.
Skills.
It's just he's got but he's got an amazing skill set, D-Mac.
Yeah, of course he does.
And sure,
and he kicked bloody well too. Yeah.
Oh, he did. He had one of those games, and you know what? We talked about this last week, how against the Blues he didn't really shine as much as what he normally does, and I just think that the platform up front, he just had the ball on a plate the whole game,
and that's what you need. I mean, that's what any first five needs to shine.
Yeah,
and
totally.
If you have someone as class as him, it's all over, isn't it? I guess that's the advantage we have, having these brilliant players here. Yeah, that was sublime.
Yeah, I mean, even Mitch Hunt had some good games with good forward ball.
Well, he got the miles out conversion, didn't drop goal against the Highlanders.
Yeah, that's right.
Miles out. Should we?
I've just got one more little thing. Okay. Nick Berry was a little bit loosey goosey last night.
What do you mean? He's always loosey-goosey.
No,
isn't
he's usually really fastidious and quite harsh.
What was he doing?
Mate, he lets so many things go. Like, we're talking about, like, swinging arms, going too far, but also, like, I feel like the Brumbies got off with a few, like, clear forward passes, not straights in the line out, and it was just kind of Nick Berry going, give him a chance.
Mate, he was giving them a chance.
I reckon
if anything, this shows how, his emotional, his EQ, how in touch with it he is, Nick Berry, is that he realised that the Brumbies were going to be feeling a little bit off, that the Chiefs kind of had this one sewed up, and he goes, well, I'll give them the odd thing here and there. They are my countrymen after all.
Mate, we'll just give them a couple of line-outs, mate. It's all good.
And it's fine.
And Luke Jacobson's gone up, mate, that was forward. It's like, Luke, I know it was forward, mate. We just gotta, it's the end of their season.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that they're feeling okay.
I'm glad the game did end at 80 minutes though, because if he continued that way, I'm surprised he wouldn't go last try wins. He just gets so generous that he just goes, "Hey guys, I'm actually making a call. It's last try wins," and the Chiefs are up by 17 points.
Well, haven't you heard, mate? That's the 2027 new rule.
That's the rule
for Super Rugby. Yeah, last try wins.
Doesn't matter who's winning.
If you finish fourth in the semi-final, you get to play your Joker card, which is last try wins.
You're ahead of Moana Pacifica by about 79 points.
Yeah, but you still...
Last try wins.
Last try wins. Artie's in. No, you just give it to Nani Laumapi, who's coming coming to the Moana Pacifica team.
Let's talk about that. How good is that? Hey, there's rumours. Someone's been posting that there's rumours that Richie Mo'unga's been having meetings.
Mate, I've been talking about this for ages. Yeah, I've told you this.
Well,
I've known this for weeks, mate.
No, you haven't. You're just assuming.
Mate, I've been talking to Richie.
We've been talking about Richie Mo'unga.
Mate, he gave me a call. He said, hey, bro.
He doesn't have your number.
Mate, he goes, hey, bro, loving the pod. I just wanted to ask your advice because I know you've been across the Super Rugby season this year. I've been approached by Tana and the crew at Moana, and I'm thinking of taking a meeting. What do you think? So that's when I sort of said to him, look at what Artie's done this year. And I know that there's a couple of signings coming in. I couldn't say, but I knew that Nani Laumapi was coming. And I said, Richie, mate, I think the team would do really well to have you in there, and I think it's going to be a great thing for your career, actually. You'll break through back onto the New Zealand scene, and I think it's going to be a good little lead into possibly getting a little selection for the Rugby World Cup 2027.
Mate, this is fantastic, and I didn't know you'd sort of taken this role at Moana Pacifica.
No, I'm not. I'm just. I'm an independent player advisor.
Independent player advisor. They call you. Call Ra.
Yeah.
They've all got my number. Professional rugby career. Call Ra Job.
Yeah, they've all. Well, yeah. Are you struggling with what your next move is? Call Ra Job to.
Do you know what?
Discuss.
You would actually be a good player manager. You're kind of like a Jerry Maguire.
Mate, I'd love to be a player manager.
Maguire.
My family friend of ours, Leanne McGoldrick's a player manager, and she did a lot of cricket players, and she said it was a good job.
Yeah, you'd be good because you'd sort of swan in your linen pants, and
come on, mate, I wouldn't be wearing linen pants.
Well, you would. I hope you are.
I'd be wearing a pair. If I was a rugby agent, I'd be wearing a pair of RMs. I'd be wearing some nudies, blue nudies, and probably a rod and gun shirt,
or Three Wise Men.
Nah, not Three Wise Men.
Rod and gun.
Rod and gun.
And maybe that lovely Barber jacket you've got.
I'll be taking that down to the stadium in the cold. Hey, speaking of the cold, mate. It looks freezing back there.
It's nippy back here, mate. It's nippy. Dude, there's no doubt about it.
Like, I mean, it looked like Luke Jacobson had just been in the bloody sauna in his post-match interview. He was steaming up.
Probably went for a quick 15.
He needed to rehydrate. I hope he did because he was losing a lot of fluid, mate. Yeah, just in the steam.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of soothsaying and knowing so much about rugby. Next weekend, Sunday.
Big day for the ABs, isn't it?
Actually, no, sorry, is it? Yeah, it is. The NZR announced They're All Blacks for the championship against France.
Yeah, and you asked me to do something last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I asked you, please, or I asked us both to assemble our starting 15. What we think are gonna.
Did you just look yourself in the mirror and go, "Hey, mate, can you please assemble your starting 15, Gareth?"
No,
for this week's pod.
Yeah,
did you look
I
at
did.
yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, I said that this morning.
Sorry.
Hey, mate.
Sorry to interrupt.
Can you just quickly assemble 13? And I went, yes, I can, Gareth.
Okay, great.
And then I popped a pimple.
Oh, okay. Did you have a pimple, mate? You've got great skin. You don't. No, I do. Have pimples.
No, I don't have pimples. No, I'm fine. I'm doing all right, actually.
I still get a few. I've got one down here at the moment.
Yeah. Oh no, I get like the odd one. Sometimes I get them on me.
Well, no, that's not pimples, mate.
No, that's
probably
gonorrhea.
Herpes or gonorrhea.
Yep.
No, gonorrhea.
So
I thought there was an internal one, gonorrhea.
No, mate. She can show.
Oh,
she
really?
Can show. I don't know. I've heard it from my gay friends. It goes around a lot with the gays.
Does it? Well, I don't think it's exclusively a gated.
No, but it is.
STI,
It is a bit more rife.
Is it?
I think so. From what I hear.
How does gonorrhea present?
I don't. Just look it up on Google, mate. I don't really want to describe it on this podcast.
I don't want that on my Google search.
Well, I don't want to talk about it anymore on this podcast. It's kind of disgusting.
Fair enough.
So, mate, we've prepared our starting 15. I actually went ahead and did the entire wider squad as well, but we won't get into that today.
Yeah. I think it's good to make hard calls.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't want to go into the wider squad, because I think you've got to make the harsh call, you know.
Yeah.
And it's who's going to start the first French test. Right? That's what I've done. It's who's going to start the first one.
It is going to start. Who's going to start the first French test? Now, how do we want to do this?
Do we want to? You, mate. This is your idea, so you tell me.
Do I read my team first and then you follow by yours, or do we go position for position and read our who's number one and we both say our player?
Okay.
How do you want to do it?
No, I think you do your team.
Okay.
I'll do my team. Then we discuss.
All right.
Okay, go.
Okay. Here it is. My All Blacks starting 15. Or do I just the 15, not the 23?
15.
Okay. For the match against France. 1, Mighty Williams. 2, Cody Taylor. 3, Tyrell Lomax. 4, Scott Barrett. 5, Tupou Vai. 6, Summerpenny Finau. 7, Artie Savia. 8, Wallace Satiti. 9, Cam Roygard. 10, Bowden Barrett.
I knew it.
11, Sevu Reece. 12, Caleb Clark. 13,
12?
What have I done? Oh, sorry.
Caleb Clark at 12?
Sorry. I've actually deleted one. 12, Geordie Barrett.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what's happened here. 11, Sevu Reece. 12, Geordie Barrett. 13, Rico Ioane. 14, Caleb Clark.
That'll be Caleb Clark, yeah.
All the other way around with Sevu Reece. And then 15, Will Jordan.
All right, mate. It's pretty close. Mine's pretty close.
Okay.
So I've got... I'm with you with Mighty Williams and Taylor, but I've gone for the full Crusaders front row, and I've gone Newell. I think Newell's in there.
Well, okay.
I've definitely got Vi and Barrett. Same Lucy's. So Finau, Savia, Satiti, Roygard. I've put D-Mac at 10, obviously.
Yeah.
Bolter in at 11, Leroy Carter.
Okay, you've gone as a starter, though.
Yeah, as a starter.
So here's my thing. I like that, but I don't agree that he'll start. I think he'll be on the bench, if anything.
Mate, I would rather have Caleb Clark, or you know what, and what I want to have on the bench is, I mean, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah,
but
I know who you want.
Geordie Barrett in at 12. 13, you'll love this, Billy Proctor. Because I don't think Leonard Brown's going to be available.
Yeah.
Sevu Reece at 14, Jordan at 15. So that's mine. Leroy Carter's the bolter for me. And I want to see. I've taken out Rieko Ioane, and I want to see him as the outside back and centre cover on the bench.
Right. Okay. Yep. Yep. Can I read you my my reserves?
Your bench? Yeah, sure.
So I've gone for Samisoni Tokiaho, Fletcher Newell.
Yeah.
I've gone for either Pasaliel Torsi or George Bauer, who I think George Bauer can sneak his way back in there.
Yeah, he's great.
I've gone for Patrick Tuipulotu as the lock cover.
Yeah, man, that's a no-brainer.
I've gone for Duplessis Karifi as the Lucy cover.
Ooh,
Because
cool.
here's my theory. Because Artie can move to basically any of those positions at loose, right? And so Wallace can play between 6 and 8 as well. So you're really covering yourselves. I think he's a bit of energy that happens at 7. He can come on. Cortez Ratima at the halves. Then I've gone for Quinn Tupaia.
Oh, he's in. He's made it.
And then I've gone for Damien McKenzie. That's.
So you've picked Quinn Tupaia over your lovely Billy.
I'm just thinking about how, in terms of the positional, because what I'm thinking is that Rieko. Actually, do you know what? Maybe it should be Billy Proctor, because if Billy moved into the centres, Rieko could always move out to the wing. I'm just thinking about multi-positional, I suppose. I'm going to go Billy Proctor in there.
All right, so I've convinced you. Changed your mind.
Well, I just thought about that because Rieko can play multi-position. Okay, so we're pretty close.
We're pretty close, mate.
My theory is that is who will be chosen, not just who I would like to. I think actually this is a 15 of people who I genuinely think this will be the starting lineup, knowing who's already in the mix.
Yeah, I don't know about Caleb Clark. I just don't think he's done enough to stay in there.
I think he has, man. I think he does a lot around the field. I think he's good. If he's on the end of a well-tuned backline, he's got a lot to offer. I still think.
What? But I also picked this with purely off Super Rugby form as well. So I was
right.
So that's why I think Rieko and I've left Caleb Clark out, because I think. And also I've gone for D-Mac over Bodie, because I think on purely on this season's Super Rugby form, that's the team, man.
Yeah, it is interesting though. But I think what the public need to understand is that it's never really about the Super Rugby form. It's not just about that. If we chose just on form, our All Blacks lineups would look incredibly different to what they do. They're picking on all the behind the scenes stuff that you don't sort of see, as well as the experience. The other thing that in my wider squad, just the one person that I do have, for example, in that respect, is David Havili. Like, I think he will be in the squad, although you could think that there's some other people that have had more standout seasons. I think he's had just a consistent season. I don't know. It's interesting. I reckon you and I will be pretty close with these teams.
Yeah. And me and you talked about this recently, Gareth. Obviously, the Super Rugby season's going to come to a bit of a close next week. So we were thinking about what we wanted to do with our little podcast here.
Yeah.
And we've decided that we're going to do an international series. Super Smack International. So
that's right.
This is why we're getting a little bit of a head start on these teams, just to have a little bit of a transition between Super Rugby and the international season. So watch this space. We're figuring out how we're going to do it, but yeah, we'll definitely be with you for the All Black season as well, which is quite exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yep,
it is so good. Nice when you get to the end of Super Rugby and then you've got this beautiful black jersey season to look forward to.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great? It's going to be good. There's some absolute humdingers against France, and then of course the Rugby Championship. It's great. I reckon my prediction is that they're going to be back and they're going to be better than ever. I reckon the All Blacks are going to do some serious damage this year.
Yeah,
Watch out.
Razor's had his transition period now. He's going to be in full force this year.
It's all on. It's all on.
All right. Well, next week we've got the final of Super Rugby. We're not quite finished yet. We're not quite into finished. The ABs yet. We've got a lovely wee game of rugby down in Christchurch. And a lovely wee team taking a trip from the mighty Waikato down to Canterbury.
Good luck.
Fuck shit up. To really fuck shit up.
Good luck, and I really hope they do. All the best to the mighty Chiefs against the evil of the Crusaders.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Well, let's show them who's boss. But, man, it's going to be good. The two best teams got through. It makes a lot of sense. It's another final in Christchurch. Wow. It's going to be good. Are you going to go down, mate? You going to get on a plane and come all the way?
No, definitely not.
Oh.
No.
Tricky
time to leave the US at the moment. So
you want to make sure you stay there. Well, to be honest, I'd be getting straight out of there full stop if I was you. I don't really know why you're there, but
because I live here, mate.
But why?
For work.
What?
What do you mean?
Okay. All right, mate. Just come home. We miss you, mate.
There's nothing for me there, mate.
There is, mate. There's your mates.
Yeah, but I talk to you on this podcast every week, so I don't really need much more than that.
Gosh. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Tune in next week for the results of the Super Rugby final where we will crown a champion.
We sure will.
And
you want to play that little sting, mate?
Oh, fuck, sorry, man.
Raz gonna what?
Go and get drunk now on bourbon and coke.
Now I'm going to go watch the pit, get some Thai. Lovely. Little larb.
I had Canton last night. The prawns. I've got the cold ones in the fridge. I'll go eat them now.
Oh. You can't be having that, mate. You can't be having the cold prawns.
Mate, I'm ruining myself. I'm going to die early.